All right, so 15 days ago, I decided that I was going to abandon my challenge of doing 100 videos in 100 days. And it was because I thought, well, I've learned what I wanted to learn while doing the challenge. And I just thought it was getting me to the point where I just realized that the things that I wanted to talk about, I didn't like doing. I was also continuing to really hate the editing process of that, which there wasn't a lot of editing, obviously, when you look at some of my videos. But I decided that the challenge was to go ahead and find out this very specific thing I wanted to find out. And I decided, I think I learned everything I wanted to. But if you've noticed, today is day 46 of my challenge. That's how many videos I have up as of today that you're going to be seeing this video. And I've caught back up. I actually skipped about 2 days in between. So I caught up, put an couple extra videos into this. And I've learned so much over the last 15 days, even though I was going to abandon 30 days ago, is my wife was asking, why are you still doing this? I thought you were going to quit on the challenge. But it ends up that even the last 15 days, I've learned so much more on top of that 31 days. And the reason why I had a hard time quitting is that's just not been my nature when I challenge myself to do something that I wanted to end up really doing. So I decided I'll just do videos up to 100 videos. And that may be what's going to happen, and because I would like to make the higher quality to really still, like I said, learn a lot about myself along this process. So I encourage anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, try doing a challenge of just doing 100 videos in 100 days. And the other reason that I decided I didn't want to quit, there's a couple of reasons. I want to tell you a story about a woman that I heard about a while back, and her name is Florence Chadwick. And in 1952, she decided she wanted to try to swim from the coastline of California to Catalina Island, which is 26 miles in distance. And I've been to Catalina Island, taking a boat, going across, and it's a long ways. It's 26 miles, and she wanted to swim it. So they actually had to get a team with her after all her training and everything was ready to go. And they had boats follow her with rifles to scare away sharks. And also she was getting stung a lot by jellyfish along the way. But I guess she decided to swim across it, knew the risks. They were prepping her up for it. And 15 hours in or so, the fog just started coming in and she could no longer see the Catalina Island. And although she could know where she was going because she had her team following her, she was being encouraged that she could do it, but they couldn't see shore, and she ended up giving up. So they pulled her out of the water. She's in the boat, drying off, and then she realizes she was only like a few hundred meters or like a mile away from shore. And she told reporters when she got to shore that had she been able to see Catalina Island, she would have made it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Realizing that was the only issue that held her back, was that she wasn't able to see it, she tried again 2 months later, and she successfully became the first woman to swim across from California to Catalina Island. And not only did she end up doing that, she became the first woman to swim across the English Channel, both ways nonetheless. And I guess that became something of history where that was the only time she ever quit. And the lesson that I had heard when I first heard the story was, sometimes you're closer than you think. And there's even the story of Acres of Diamonds, where the guy who's been digging and digging and digging was just a few feet away from actually hitting major diamond mine, or really just a boatload that he could have gotten. And this is where I wanted to make sure I do not end up quitting, not knowing if I was close enough to actually hit it. And I've heard story after story about very rich, wealthy, successful people who just didn't give up because they were so close, and at the last minute when they were just at their final end, they were closer than they thought, and they actually ended up succeeding just because they held up that little longer more. So I put myself on this challenge in the beginning, and I also told myself that if I don't put out at least 100 videos during this time that I quit my job 46 days ago, how would I know that this is what I would or would not want to do? But the other thing is, here's the thing about YouTube. If you do 100 videos, you'll get so much data about knowing what will and won't work that you don't want to pretty much let it go. The other thing about YouTube is, you do 100 videos, there is a possibility that one of them would go viral. And if it goes viral, then you'll get your subscriber count up to 1,000 like that. You'll get your watched hours instantly, and then you'll be monetized. And then you have something to build off of that one viral video, knowing what happened. Now, Being that it is YouTube, it is very possible that you could actually just drop off after that, but at least you've gotten to where you have it monetized, and that if that was the goal, then you're there. Then you can figure out what you want to do next. Now, I just want to talk to this in context of quitting and why I've decided I'm going to continue to do up to at least 100 videos. It may not be consecutive. There's so much things going on at the same time. Still trying to build my other channel or keep it going as well, the e-bike side. And I'm going to do my best to keep it going up to trying to get 100 in 100 days. But the goal is to make 100 videos, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I know I said on I think it was June 1st or so, that I was going to abandon the challenge, and I decided I'm not going to. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and keep this up to see if I can gather the data that should be done after 100 days. Plus, it'd be nice to actually have that video goes, I did 100 videos, this is what I learned. And that's going to be my 101st video coming out. So in the meantime, for those of you who follow along, thank you so much. For those of you who have just joined this journey with me, hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications, and you'll be able to see my path of what I'm learning along the way. About every once a week or so, I'll do a recap of where I'm at and what has been happening, what else I've been learning as well. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about finance here and there, about relationships, about job growth, either professional, how to get promotions, how to get raises, and all those type of things, how to be a good manager. These are all things that I have background and skills in, but the reason why they're all over the place is because I'm testing these niches to see what kind of content gravitates or makes people come in or makes people watch, and see what YouTube is doing with this. I am absolutely 100% sure the finance niche, anything dealing with money and wealth, seems to be the one that's the highest that takes off. Then there's this, what's so interesting is I noticed that it usually takes off about the third day after I put out the video as well. So these are things that I'm beginning to pick up and learn on. And as I start testing other things and I let you know about, you'll be able to see that. But like Florence Chadwick, if you are starting on this journey, you might be so close. There is a video that I've been wanting to do even before this started about 100 basketball shots backwards, and how this relates to this and things that have happened in my life using that analogy. And I hope to do that soon. But for now, I just want to go ahead and make this short video because it's really actually late tonight, and I was wondering if I was going to skip today. But that voice in the back of my head, don't quit, so close, you just never know. So that's why this video is coming out tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If this has been valuable in any way, if you've never heard about Florence Chadwick, you should really look her up, because there's some really brief stories about her all over the place. Her story is legendary, being that she did what she accomplished. And can you imagine swimming and getting stung the whole time, and having sharks being shot away from you by people? What if they unsuccessfully scared one away? I mean, who knows? But she did it. And then I think she actually did it later when she was much older as well. She swam all these different things, all different times. So interesting woman, very great lesson. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next video.